The following video should help further introduce candidates participating in the Jefferson City Fire Department Physical Agility Evaluation process to the various tasks and suggested techniques for approaching the 7 stations of the timed event. We'll begin at the first station of the timed event, the large diameter hose drag.
At this station, you can either pull the hose over your shoulder and drag, or put the hose under the arm to drag.
Either way, as you travel the 75-foot course, the load becomes heavier because of the increase in the amount of hose you are pulling.
You will also encounter the occasional surge of resistance as layers of the hose play out during the drag. It is important to keep your weight and your momentum moving forward at all times.
Next is the medical bag carry.
For this station, it's important to remember 2 things. Lift with your legs,
and do not bend your arms while carrying the load to help conserve energy for later stations.
The charged 1.5-inch hose advance is similar to the large diameter hose drag, with the major exceptions being the size of the hose and the rigidity of the charged line.
Here, you can use either an over-the-shoulder technique to advance the hose,
or an under-the-arm technique to advance the hose. While you won't experience the same abrupt surge of resistance as you did on the 5-inch line,
the weight you are dragging will increase as you drag more and more hose behind you, so again, momentum is a key component.
The forced entry simulation is next. Approved swinging methods include
gripping the sledge at the end with both hands and using a full overhead blow,
holding the sledge with either both hands at the end or one hand near the end and one near the head, and using short, rapid overhead blows,
or a swing where you start with your hands separated and bring them together at the end of the sledge handle as you swing down.
It's also very important to reposition yourself with each strike. Being too far forward or back of the target will reduce the efficiency of your blows.
The next station is the high-rise pack carry and stair climb.
The following techniques focus on assisting you in finding the best way to get the pack from the ground to your shoulder.
Those who are very confident in their strength can bend at the knees, pick the pack up, and flip it onto their shoulder.
However, with this technique comes the possibility of straining or otherwise injuring oneself if you do not incorporate the use of your muscles correctly.
Caution should be exercised if this approach is used.
Another technique is the clean and jerk style of lifting the high-rise pack. Position yourself over the pack, straddling it with both feet.
Bend at the knees, keeping your back as straight as possible,
and grip the pack on either side in front of your feet with your hands.
With a firm grip on the pack, clean it off the ground using your legs to drive the pack upward.
As you approach a standing position, use the momentum created by your leg drive to jerk the pack further upward with your arms, shoulders, and chest.
Then guide the pack as it flops over and brace yourself for the impact of weight as the pack lands on your shoulder.
Another approach is to stand one end of the pack up, crouch beneath the load, let the pack fall back onto your shoulder, and then lift the load up with your leg muscles.
A variation of this approach is to maneuver the pack so it can be leaned onto the wall before positioning yourself to accept the pack, and then again lifting the pack with your leg muscles.
At the equipment hoist simulation, the main requirement is to raise and lower the rope with a hand-over-hand technique. One way to complete this task is to lean out the window and haul the load up to the windowsill and then back down.
This technique requires a solid grip and good upper body strength.
The next method calls for you to brace yourself inside the window and then pull the rope through the window, much like doing a series of one-armed rows.
Again, you must have a solid grip, but you'll be tackling the load with a combination of both your upper and lower body muscles.
The final method will allow you to utilize more of your legs to complete this task,
though you will still need a solid grip and some upper body strength.
Starting near the windowsill with a firm grip on the rope, you will haul the rope into the window as you back up until you near the wall opposite the window. You must then return to the windowsill using a hand-over-hand technique to keep the rope in place.
Again, repeat the drag back to the wall and hand over hand to the windowsill method until you complete the haul.
The last task is the victim rescue. Here are 4 different approved methods that can help you make your decision on how to approach the station. Just remember the two major elements of the station are the dummy must be dragged and you must walk backwards.
First, you can reach under the armpits of the dummy and grip the handles on the chest to begin your drag.
A variation of this drag is to grip the dummy's armpits with your hands and drag, instead of utilizing the handles at the chest.
You could also just grab the dummy by the built-in straps at the chest.
Just be aware that by grasping only the handles, you may find that your ability to walk backwards is hampered because of the position of the head and the shoulders of the dummy while utilizing this drag technique.
The last method is drag the dummy by its arms.
Just be aware that the hands of the dummy are bulky and do not have fingers or wrists, which can be difficult to grip firmly.
We hope this information has been helpful as you prepare to take your physical evaluation.
Feel free to watch this and the other videos as many times as you need to familiarize yourself with the upcoming event.